Yeah, hopefully it gets better.
Whatever.
You seem
what it is, right?
Yeah, you seem like you're okay now. But anyway, I guess I'll start in with my brief monologue before I get to my longer monologues. Anyway, we're back, ready to go this week with the Unhinged Tech, the latest and greatest tech talk on Wednesday night. So all of you wonderful people joining us. Of course, I'm Tech Odyssey, and then we have English Dan Reviews, or whatever he's calling himself this week.
I'm always English Dan Reviews.
Yeah, your channel,
it's my channel name.
Yeah, now
it's been my channel name for nearly a month.
Yeah, that's the point.
All right.
It
wasn't my channel name. I still went by that because people were getting very confused.
Yeah, I see you're rocking the Manchester shirt today.
Home pride, Mancunian.
So, are they going to start soccer up sometime soon, or football, as you call it?
It starts again on Saturday.
Yeah, I think they're going to have the NBA season start sometime in the near future too, which I'm excited about.
I don't care about basketball.
I like basketball. I've always enjoyed basketball.
I don't like American sports.
Yeah, well, they don't like you either.
I don't care. Does this face look like a face of concern?
No.
I'm an American, okay? That doesn't matter. I'm allowed to not like American sports.
That's true. And they're still allowed to not like you.
That's fine. Land of the free.
Oh, goodness. So, surprising note, I think I just got a refund on that HTC M8 that they never mailed me.
Good.
Yeah,
hopefully they have mailed it today, and that way they can't get it back, a bit like my Poco phone that's on its way.
Well, I just got a notification that popped up on eBay because I made hey, Drew's here. Hey, Drew.
Hey, Drew.
I just made a thing on when I was talking to you earlier.
Hey, George.
With eBay. Hey, George. Because I ordered that HTC M8 on May the 5th or May the 7th, something like that. So I waited like 2 weeks. I'm like, hey, where's this HTC phone that I ordered? They're like, oh, well, it's coming over from China, coronavirus, whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. They're like, it'll be there by June 5th. So I said, okay, that's fine. I'm an understanding guy. I'll wait. I get it. June 5th rolls around, June 6th, June 7th, all these other June days. And now here we are, June 10th. And I was like, well, I've waited long enough. This is ridiculous. You can refund my money. And it was like $80. It was just something cool that I was going to do. I did the Samsung Galaxy S6. I had a lot of fun with it. I was looking forward to. I've never actually had one of the HTC M series phones.
What, you heathen?
I never had one. Hey, Joe. Yes, Dan's here again.
Hey, everybody. It's Joe Hussey. He has a channel coming 2019, and the videos he does release in 2019 are called 3 years.
Oh, so funny thing. So I sent Joe a package in the mail 2 days ago.
I hope you did what I think you did, because I did it as well. I've done it twice now.
So I sent him a package, and we traded a phone for phone exchange. Mine will be here tomorrow. Of course, postal service. So 2-day priority shipping. I mail it on Monday. It shows up on Wednesday for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he sent his out on Monday. It'll be here supposedly tomorrow. But I did address the package to Joe Hussey, 3-year tech reviews, 3-year tech videos. Joe, if you can enlighten us, I can't remember exactly what I wrote on there, but it was.
Let me just ask: is he breaking up for anyone else? Like, does he go silent, or is it me having the issue?
Yeah,
we can't figure it out.
Yeah,
like when he first starts to talk like now, can't hear a word he's saying. His mouth's moving. I mean, it's great and all that his mouth's moving and I can't hear him because he doesn't shut up. But I just want to make sure.
I know it's the best show that you've probably ever had. Anyway, yeah, Joe. So one of y'all, and maybe it's not. Maybe it's just one of our connection for us two. I'm seeing him okay. I'm not having any problems, but we were having some internet connection issues earlier where one of us is chopping up and breaking up, and we can't figure out which one it is. I mean, it's probably his crappy internet in Ohio, but
listen, Joe, your video would be better if we couldn't see you with your coat hanger shoulders, okay? God. Hi, my name's Joe, and I'm going to give you 3 years on why I don't like this product. Dog, talk, coffee.
Mm-hmm. Goodness gracious. Well, maybe the internet issues are better now. I don't know.
It keeps doing it on you. I might have to just log out and have a quick reboot, see if that fixes it.
Yeah. So Spectacular Gadget, she's hearing us both fine. I think it's something. I think it's something on your end. I mean, according to you, there was a lightning strike there today, and
you did it right then. You dropped out right then while you were talking. Yeah, I mean, like we did get zapped by lightning today. We had a severe thunderstorm, and yes, it blew up the shit. What do you call them? Oh, I swore.
Well, there went my content.
Oh well, I may as well just freeball it now. Surge protector. There you go.
Well, I mean, if you want, you can pop out real quick. I mean, nobody's going to miss you.
Hey, thanks, Dad. I'm really happy you gave me permission to do that. I'll be back in a moment. Shut up, Joseph.
Hey, Dan, wait, Dan, before you go.
What?
Dan.
What?
Bye. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, that was funny. Anyway, so Dan's going to be back in a minute. You can see that he's very lively this evening. He hasn't got up to talk much to people this week. So we're glad to be back this week. Had a little hiatus last week. We thought it was appropriate to, kind of just wait till this week to get everything started back up again. But overall, excited to be here, and it'll be exciting whenever Dan gets back here in a minute. So as far as the stuff going on today, we didn't really have too much of an agenda. There's some new stuff coming out, talking about the iPhone and different Apple products. I know WWDC is coming up soon, and that's important to a lot of people. Maybe there'll be some updates to the iPad OS and all that good stuff. And maybe, just maybe, they can get iOS 13 fixed in time for iOS 14 to come out with the new phones. As far as going on my side of the house, just to pick a few things while wait for Dan to get back. I did get some Soundcore products that showed up yesterday. So the new Spirit series, I guess the Dots and the X2s showed up from Soundcore. So that was exciting. I'll be reviewing those. And if you missed the beginning part, I did order an HTC M8. I wanted to try and do like some retro review stuff just because there are some phones that I never got to use along the way. And here's Dan. Hey, welcome back.
It's still doing it. Just did it again. I'm going to go and get my Surface 3 instead of this desktop. I'll get my Surface Laptop 3 and we'll just whatever.
Okay. All right. We'll try it again. You want to kick you out of the stream?
I'm leaving. I don't have nothing to do with this stuff.
Oh, goodness. The power of the mouse is fun sometimes. So, yeah. So what I wanted to do was try out some of the older phones. So I've never actually had one of the HTC M series phones, like the M1, the M7, the M8, the M9. And yeah, I wanted to try those out. So I had recently, I went ahead and I got the S6 and reviewed it and all that good stuff. And so I ordered the HTC M8. Apparently it was coming over from Hong Kong, China, somewhere over there. It got held up for whatever reason. I don't know. It just never showed up. It was supposed to be here like 3 weeks ago. Then they said it was going to be here like a week ago. So I finally canceled it today. Maybe I'll pursue it again at some other point in time. I think the only HTC phone that I have ever had, I had the U11 Ultra, which I really liked that phone. I thought it was really cool whenever it came out because they had the U11, they had the U Ultra. It was like super gigantic phone, but it was really cool. I had that one. And other than that, I think that might be, okay, Google, stop. Reminding me I need to start my show. I think that might be the only HTC phone I've ever had, but I was using primarily BlackBerry phones back then. So I just never really had a whole lot of Android devices between like the really early ones and then picking up later. Like I had the MyTouch. I think that might've been an HTC phone. I had the MyTouch. And then after that, I had the Samsung Galaxy S3. So I had the LG G2X in there. Terrible phone. Had the Galaxy S3, and then I had the LG G2, and those were cool phones. And then other than that, it was BlackBerry until I ended up with the Samsung Galaxy S8. That was my return to Android phone. So there's like a wide gulf of phones in there that I missed. Other than trying out the Note 5, I did have that one briefly whenever I switched over to Sprint because I didn't have a BlackBerry phone that I could use then. So yeah, I thought people would maybe be interested in. I know there's a large group of people that really enjoyed the HTC phones and would like to see them come back. Of course, what they're doing nowadays, I don't even know. Yeah, I know they made like that crypto phone, and they were supposed to make another crypto phone. And then they talked about having another phone come out with a MediaTek processor in it. And they, of course, they have their virtual reality headset stuff. So I don't know. Maybe one day they'll come back and make another phone. I don't know. So we'll see how that goes. What else? I ordered as an experiment. So I really enjoyed the iPhone SE 2020. I went ahead and decided to get an iPhone 8 Plus. Now, the reason I got this, I picked it up. There's this other carrier. It's called Red Pocket Mobile, I think. I've tried like Mint Sim and some other ones. So there was a flash sale that they were doing yesterday, and I saw it on slickdeals.net. If you want something to occupy your time and you're always looking for ways to buy electronics and spend your money, please bookmark slickdeals.net. You will spend a lot of your time there, like 50 times a day, and then you will buy things. But if you value your money, don't go there. But anyway, so I ended up, it comes with 3 months of service, 3 months of 8 gigabytes of service, and the unlocked, sorry, not unlocked, it's locked to the carrier, but I can unlock it if they let me. But it was a brand new iPhone 8 Plus, 64 gig, brand new in the box, for $299, tax free. So I figured, why not? I'll try it. And I really liked the SE 2020 edition, and I'm looking forward to the supposed SE Plus. If they come out with this SE Plus phone, I'll be super excited about that, and I'll definitely pick up one of those too. So whenever this ends up showing up, I'll do an unboxing. I'll do the review on it. I'm going to test out the service and do some of that other stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so Drew, like you're saying down here with the new HTC Desire, and I think this is what I had seen recently on the internet with regard to the phones that they're pushing out. So I think the Desire was one of their decent budget series phones. I saw those a lot of places before, so I wouldn't be surprised if it does well, especially if they can put decent specs in it and they can price it right. If they're going to do anything, I mean, I know that Google picked up basically their handset division, a while ago, about the time that they went into the Pixel 2, I believe it was. So that's why a lot of those features you still see incorporated into the phones, like you still have the squeeze feature that was originally from the HTC phone. So, if they can do something, if they've still got the money and the desire to do it, other than the HTC Desire, pun intended, then I guess we'll see what happens whenever they come out with that phone. And I'd like to see them do well. Sorry, I was making sure Dan wasn't messaging me. And David, yes, I have no desire. Ha 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 ha. Funny, pun intended. All right, so let's see. Now I know. Trying to pull this up. So I think there was some more information with the iPhone 12 stuff coming out. They were talking about them being pushed back and delayed a little bit, which of course is not new. We've known about this for a little while. And I did see yesterday that the iPhone 12 production is expected to begin. So it looks like they're getting everything ramped up and ready to go. And it's funny, a lot of this stuff is really finalized well out in advance before they get ready for these phones to come out. It's not like they say, "Hey, we want to make the iPhone 12," and then they go ahead and it just magically appears. With all the stuff that's happened with the supply chain and all that good stuff that's gone on, where everything basically got shut down, globally. I mean, especially in China, but globally even, it pushed things back. So I think it was a big surprise whenever the iPhone SE just kind of showed up when it did in April. So they've got things going. There's supposed to be, I believe, 4 different models with the 12, and going to be some craziness stuff going on in there. But mostly a lot of it is the differentiation, I think, between the screen, between the Pro and the Max stuff. And we'll see how that goes. But I think that they're going to be priced fairly well. And to answer Schnell Case's comments down here, no, I'm not lonely. If it were anyone other than Dan co-hosting the show with me, I would maybe be missing out on a little bit. But if anything, it's just buying y'all some time not having to deal with him being here right now. So y'all can enjoy this moment of solitude until he gets back in. And then he'll be here in a second, I suppose. Dan is having some internet connectivity issues. So he had an incident today. Well, the weather had an incident. Apparently there was a lightning strike near or outside of his house, and I think it zapped a couple of things. He said, fortunately, a lot of it was set up on Surge Protector, but I don't know if it's impacted his internet connection or not, but he seems to be having some issues with his internet connection. So hopefully he's migrating over to his other computer and getting that booted back up. But yeah, whoever knows how long that's going to take, I don't know. So we shall see. All right, so trying to find my spot where I was at. Yep. So with the new iPhones, 4 different phones, new physical design. We got a 5.4, a 6.7, and a 6.1 inch size screen. 5G connectivity, maybe A14 chip, and looking at $650 to start off for the cheapest one, which would be nice. I would really like to see them continue this lower pricing structure. Like, I think that they nailed it with the iPhone 11. I think they were kind of testing the waters a little bit with the iPhone 10R. And then going to the iPhone 11 and with the price that it came out with, I think that that's what's made it. Apparently, I guess it's the best-selling phone of the year so far, and especially in the iPhone world. So I had mentioned that months ago whenever we first started talking about a lot of the stuff with our live stream, saying that I thought that the iPhone 11 would be the best-selling phone of the year, and especially the best-selling iPhone. And I think it's going to hold up to that because it's just such a good phone. You can't really find anything that has the equivalent that runs just as well and all those wonderful things for the price point, plus all the Apple ecosphere stuff. So a couple hellos here real quick. We've got Roger, Life of Tech. Hey, welcome. Glad to have you here. And then, of course, we've got Snail Case. I guess Carl decided he doesn't want to be Harmless Carl today on here. And then, of course, Joe, Frederick, all sorts of other wonderful people tuned in tonight. So one other cool thing, I've got another video that I'm working on right now. So I went ahead, and if any of you are interested, let me grab it here. I decided to pick up the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite. So I had the Tab S6 originally when it first came out. I pre-ordered it. I got it the day that it came out. Big fan. I liked it a lot, but I think I've alluded to this some in the past. I have a hard time with expensive tablets because I don't really use them all that much. I like them and I like to have them, but the problem is I want them, I buy them, and then they just sit next to my dresser and collect dust. And I'm like, why do I have this $600, $700, $800 tablet sitting on the floor that I'm not using? So I'm comparing them right now. I bought the iPad, the 2019 model, the lowest version. I got it. It was on sale for $250, which if you're in the market for an iPad, $250 for a 32 gigabyte iPad model is a really good deal. It works really, really well. Well, this right here is basically Samsung's answer to the low-priced iPad. Talking $350 instead of $250, but it comes with the S Pen, and look who's back.
Oh my days! Can you hear me?
Back again? Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Wow. I had to totally reset everything back up with the Surface. Then the Surface was dead. Then there was no drivers for the Logitech camera. Then the Yeti had to install. I'm like, please just stop.
Yeah. So I was telling everyone, of course you're going to have your criticism because I know you don't like Android tablets like we were talking about earlier. But I was telling them I'm in the process of using and reviewing this right now. Surprisingly, the unboxing video I did has gotten some really good feedback and response as far as views and people's comments on it. So I did find out one thing new though. Originally I was like, you can put the S Pen on the side, or you can put it, caught it, or you can put it on.
Move it.
You can put it on this side. I didn't realize there's a spot back here.
Oh, well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was throwing me off. I'm like, why in the world did it? What you could only put it on the side? Because I'm like, well, there it goes. There it goes. You can't hold it with the S Pen on the side. So I had actually done some of this stuff.
Is it secure?
Huh?
Is it secure on there? It looks like it'd move around really easy.
It's about as secure as a refrigerator magnet. It's not that great, but it's good enough to at least get it out of the way.
I'd be scared if I was out and about and had that on there like that. I'd be scared of dropping it and not knowing I dropped it.
Yeah, and I need to get a case. I ended up buying a case from a company called Infoland for the Tab S6, and surprisingly, it got tons of views. People enjoyed that case. I guess it's a really good one for like $15. So they reached out to me before this came out and were like, "Hey, you want to review some cases for that Tab S6 Lite?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm not planning on getting it." Anyway, I ended up getting it, so I'm on the fence. I did email them back, but I haven't committed to reviewing cases. They want to send me like 2 or 3 cases to test out and review for this, and I'm leaning towards doing it just because there's not a whole lot of accessories out for this, and I think it would be nice to at least review those so people can see what some options are other than the crap that Samsung makes.
Yes, I agree. You'll probably do all right out of it. But if it was up to me and it was keeping one of them, and it was keeping one for a tablet, there's only one tablet in the world that's worth having. And I'm not even an Apple boy, but the iPad is the way to go for the tablet.
And I mostly agree with you there. I mean, the iPad is just so good. It's simple. It's straightforward. It's just like the phone. Even the cheap 2019 $250 model still supports the Apple Pencil Generation 1.
Yep. It'll run all your LumaFusion. It'll do everything you need it to do. It's still really powerful. Whereas is that the Tab S6 Lite, did you say?
Yes, it's got the Exynos processor in it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I even forgot to bring this up because I got
4 gig of RAM, right, as well.
Yeah. And it's funny because they're like, "Oh, it has 4 gigabytes of RAM. It's basically the same as the iPad." I'm like, 4 gigabytes in Android is nothing compared to 4 gigabytes in an Apple product.
Drew, no, I didn't. Just to answer Drew quickly. No, I didn't. After I edited again with the iPad that night, and I changed my mind and I canceled my MacBook Pro, which I probably should have got because it was so cheap. But what's the point if I'm not going to use it? That's $1,900 sat there.
That's a big thing. And I did pick up a 2019 model. It's the 16-inch MacBook Pro. And I tell you what, man, I put out a video I exported before I got on the show. It's a 10-minute video, 1080p, 30 frames per second. It has some B-roll in there and all that good stuff. It took like a whopping minute and 10 seconds to export. Like by the time the video card had even spun up to help with the assist, it was done.
Yeah.
It's
they're really great. The new 16-inch MacBook Pro is dynamite. Even the base model, like I said to you, the base model, the $2,400 base model that you can get for $21 right now, I believe, is faster than the $3,500 15.4 from the year before.
And that's what I got. I got the base model, and
you don't need any more. 512 gig storage. You got the 5500M.
Yeah, I mean, if you got the more expensive model, you could get like the 5600 or the 5500M, the graphics card instead. But it's really not that significant an upgrade. And here's what gets me: they will charge you like $700 for an extra terabyte of storage. It's like utterly ridiculous.
It's hideous the way they do that. That's Apple though in a nutshell. I mean, it's if you want to go up to something like, I think they can do 64 gig of RAM, but it's like $2,000 or something. To go up to, it's like, what? Where do you get these prices from? And the RAM that they use, it would actually cost you to do it yourself about $400.
But they won't let you.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that drives me crazy. As a computer hardware person, as somebody who's always built computers and upgraded things, I look at that and I'm like, the reason they're doing this is because they want to charge you out the rear because there's no other way you can get it. Like they know that you're going to get that computer, but you can't upgrade it, so you've got to spend the extra money. And here, granted, they're good forever. They're good for so long. Like
years.
Like I had a 2012 MacBook Pro years and years ago. Like my last semester of law school, and then when I was preparing for the bar, I had a 2012 MacBook Pro I got in like 2014 is when I got it. And it had like 4 gigs of RAM in it. I popped a 2 gigs stick out, and I put another 8 in there. So I had 10 gigabytes of RAM. But even in like, I had it for a year or so, and that sucker was still plugging along great. And I know people that are still just now getting rid of their 2012, 2013, 2014 computers. I could not fathom still using a 2012 model PC in the year.
The wife has got the chunky with all the ports 2012 MacBook Pro, and you can still load the latest and greatest on it if you know what you're doing. Hers has got the late. I can't remember what it's called, but whatever the latest Mac OS is, I can't remember.
It's not my thing.
And she got it on that 2012. It works just fine.
Is it Catalina?
Don't remember. I actually don't remember.
I don't know. Well, one other thing I wanted to talk about, and people seem to be fairly interested in it. I went ahead and I got this like 2 weeks ago. I was going to talk about this in our show, but we didn't have it last week. I got the Note 10 Lite, and it is. It's beautiful. This Aura Red that they have, I'm really enjoying this phone. Now, I'm going to go back to a point that on a conversation that you and I had, because you've got experience with the Exynos processors. They're not as battery efficient as the Qualcomm's are.
About 20% less efficient.
So, thank you. I got my soda. So I had expected whenever this, it's got a 4,500 milliamp battery, which is really good. I expected, they said 4,500 milliamp battery. I thought for sure that I would be pulling in at least 6.5 to 7.5 hours, maybe even 8 hours of screen on time. No, I'm getting right at about 6.
Better than thought.
Like right before it tanks, I'm hitting about the 6 hour mark. And an absolute minimum for me in a phone has got to be 6 hours of screen on time. If it can't get 6 hours, I can't use it. It will not make it through the day because I'm such a heavy phone user. I use it all the time. But I've really been enjoying it. It's got the, I didn't realize it's actually got the same CPU in it, the same processor as the international model of the Note 9. It's the same Exynos processor. And, I got the 8 gigabytes of RAM. It doesn't have the IP dust and water. It doesn't have wireless charging. It's just a good phone. I mean, 8 gigabytes of RAM. I think I got 256 gigabytes of storage.
Really? I thought they had 128.
Maybe it's 128. I think it's 128. And then also, it's got a headphone jack on it, which is cool too. But it's got the same stylus. I mean, it's basically a Note 9 in a Note 10 body. It's basically the best way I can describe it. It's got the hole punch camera up there up top, but it's got the same stylus as the newer models. The only thing it doesn't do is it doesn't do the motion gestures. So if you can live without the Harry Potter wand gestures, you're good.
Yeah,
but the most important part of this whole conversation was that I got it for $479 brand new, which I think is a pretty darn good deal.
You didn't have to trade it or anything?
No, I bought it off of eBay, brand new for like $479. I mean, that's just what they sell for, about $480, right at $500 price point.
That's not bad.
The only
through your stuff,
huh?
I can hear myself through you.
Oh, you can?
Oh, I could. It's stopped now.
Oh.
Probably me again. Probably just a fault with me again. English Dan's crap setup.
Well, hey, at least you got it working, and you're able to talk and all that good stuff now.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, we've lost people in the live stream since you came back, but I'm glad you're here.
Well, I mean, look at Frederick. He was obviously needing to sleep, so he's had to go and catch some of them Z's he was casting. So, yeah.
I got to admit, though, I was sitting there, and we talked about this briefly at the beginning of the show. I didn't really know what we were going to talk about tonight. This is just the first one back after the break, so I figured we'd just kind of talk about whatever's going on. And then you were gone. I'm like, so the iPhone 12 pull up article. Told him the story about the HTC M8. I'm like, yeah, so I got this phone. I'm like, I need Dan to hurry up and get back.
Well, I know English Dan is here to save the day.
Not that I need you here to provide anything. I just need someone to talk to.
Let me just tell you this, and people are going to disagree with me now.
Go for it.
This is a better phone than the Galaxy S20 Ultra.
I 100% agree with you.
By far. I don't even miss the high refresh rate screen because it just seems snappy enough.
The cardinal fault that I will tell you about that phone is the lack of facial recognition. It's just mind-boggling to me how they can't. They just got to flip a switch. The camera's there. The software support is there.
It's built into Android natively,
so it would work as well as the Samsung phones if they just enabled it. So it makes absolutely zero sense to me how there's just no facial recognition, but the optical fingerprint sensor works out fine. You can see the
nice and fast. And then the big bugbear with me was always LG software, which granted has got better nowadays. The biggest problem was that convoluted menu system they had when you went into your setup, and they don't have that anymore. It's not like that anymore, which is a good thing. But stick Launcher on it, and it looks just like a Pixel, and it works just fine.
They have made significant strides in the software department over the last couple of years. And to answer what Drew says down here, it's a great device. It's a massive one, though, and it is large, but I can't fault them for making a large phone. When you look at you look at Samsung, you look at Apple, you look at all these other manufacturers, and they're all pushing the
large phones. Oh God, sorry about that. I just killed my dog.
6.5 to 6.8 inch screens. I mean, that's kind of the way these large ones are going now with these ultra large phones. And like Dan says, you really don't even notice it. And I was listening to Juan Bagnell on one of his shows because he loves the LG phones and he loves the V60. And he was talking about, no, it doesn't have 90 hertz refresh rate. It doesn't have 120 hertz, but it has a consistent 60 hertz refresh rate across the board. It doesn't drop. It's not like when you have a normal 60 hertz refresh rate on some phones and it kind of drops the frame rate every once in a while. It's a consistent, even 60 hertz all the time. So that does, I feel, make up a little bit for it. And then if you really want to make it feel a little bit faster, you can turn down the animations in there.
But the thing is, that 60 hertz screen with a 5,000 milliamp hour battery at full HD, I can get 2 days. 2 days out of this, no problem.
That AMOLED display is gorgeous. It is.
Yeah.
I was really happy with the LG G8. They finally put the AMOLED display in it. I love the G8. It was my favorite phone. I can't say it was my favorite phone. It was like my second favorite phone of last year. Totally love it. It's going to come back one day. It's in Ohio right now on vacation. But it's a fantastic phone. And if you want a really good phone right now, go spend like $300 and get a G8 off of like eBay or Swappa. You won't be sorry. It's a fantastic phone. I totally love it. And yeah, it's funny. You put it next to the V60 though, and it's like, look at that.
I mean, that's like serious, like whoa.
But the G8 is it's a complete phone. It is probably the most complete phone of 2019. That's probably what I could say about it. Yep. It's got everything. And it's even got real facial recognition on the front of it. It's got real biometrics, not just the stuff that scans your face. It's got.
I wonder why they didn't do that on this. I just don't. There's not been like any explanation or anything for it.
I don't know. And yeah, but it's a really good phone, and you can pick them up so cheap because LG.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
The V60, I think, was a step in the right direction. And if they marketed that phone better, other than just the price. I mean, I think that they just hoped that the price would speak for itself. But as soon as you walk into a carrier store, someone's going to be like, here, look at the Samsung and the iPhone. They don't say, look at this LG. But it's got 5G. It's got excellent cameras. It's got a beautiful display, 5,000 milliamp battery. And you can get them brand new for like $699 now at T-Mobile.
Yeah, without the dual screen, $699 brand new, or $809 with the dual screen, which I found the dual screen was okay for the first few days. I don't use the dual screen on it anymore. I would use it if I was traveling, I think. That way, that's where it'd work out good, I think, for me. Or if I had to, for work, typing things up and things, maybe. But
I tell you what, people don't look at it this way, but that right there is probably the best gaming phone that you can get right now.
Yeah.
You can use that LG virtual controller on the bottom screen. Works out perfect for Fortnite, perfect for Call of Duty, all these other games. You've got this dedicated touch panel control on the bottom. You don't have to worry about putting your fingers all over the screen when you're trying to.
Yeah.
And yeah, it doesn't have a high refresh rate, but it's not that big of a deal.
No, not for mobile gaming. I mean, it's like the OnePlus 8 now. The OnePlus 8 Pro can do Fortnite in 120 frames a second. Who cares?
Some 14-year-olds care. But the thing with the OnePlus phone, and I told you this, and I talked about this, and I did a full review. I love the OnePlus 8, the Oxygen OS, the Snapdragon 865. It's clean. It's clean. It's sleek. It's like the OnePlus 7 Pro decided to go and put itself in like a health camp for 3 weeks and lose some weight and come out sleeker and better. The only problem is with the cameras are just not any good.
It's just not worth it. I mean, when you can pick up, like I just said, I say it all the time, and T-Mobile will unlock it the day you get it, even if you still owe money on it. $450, you can go and get a OnePlus 7 Pro. And T-Mobile will unlock it instantly for you.
I've honestly thought about picking another one up.
And they now work on Sprint.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Once it's unlocked from T-Mobile, it will work on. I tested it today.
Well, I guess they've got the networks kind of blended together now with Sprint.
Well, I mean, they must do because I'm getting 5G on Sprint, and Sprint doesn't have 5G around here, but I'm on Sprint right now. So
this must be using the T-Mobile 5G network then. So
it's still as slow as T-Mobile's 5G. So yeah, I'm presuming so.
Oh, here we go. So Drew said he's wrapped up his unboxing video for the B6.
Did they send you one, Drew, or did you buy one?
I think they sent him one.
Did they? I hope they did because
good gosh,
and everybody else.
Joe, are you telling me you got a OnePlus 7 Pro? Or you got? Oh yeah, he probably got it from you.
No, he didn't. He got it at the same time as me. I put mine on there, and he's like, "Me too."
You know, I'm actually got another.
Drew. Drew, I'll message you later.
I've got a definitely message Dan later. So I've actually got another phone of Joe's right now because I was just thinking about this the other day, and I don't know how this was for you, growing up because you're a little bit older than I am. But whenever I grew up, it was a big thing when I was a kid. We would borrow each other's Nintendo games all the time. So it's like I had my buddy had Mario 3, whatever. We used to trade stuff all the time. So it's not like now I've got this group of tech friends where it's like, here, you borrow this phone, I'll borrow that phone, you borrow that phone. So we got like a phone borrowing ring going on right now, which is kind of interesting. But I've got the Razor 2 from Joe right now that I just finally
How is that right now? Is it as good as it used to be, or has it aged a lot? Because I've got a feeling it may be like the iPhone SE of Android right now.
The form factor has not held up well. And if anyone doesn't know, Razer bought out basically. So Nextbit created this phone, the Robin. I actually had it. It was a really good phone. I liked it a lot, especially for the price. It was the first one to come out with like the dedicated cloud storage, all sorts of cool things. They did a lot of good things with that phone. Razer, and this I think is what ultimately has ruined them. They should have built their phones from the ground up. Instead, they bought Nextbit's phone stuff and their developers, and they built their Razer into the same form factor, the same stuff.
Just a giant Nextbit Robin.
Yeah. So I think had they just spent the money and the time and built their phone from the ground up, it would have done better. But I think gaming phones had a very small shelf life. Like you look at the Razer, you look at the Republica gaming phone, you look at the Black Shark, you look at all these other phones. There's not really so much of a market for them because the processors are so powerful now, and they're putting these other things like the 90 hertz, 120 hertz displays into these phones. There's no need for a gaming phone. They all run the games the same.
Yes.
And it's just, I mean, it was kind of cool, for like a year and a half, and then it just fizzled out, gone.
Even sub $300 phones now will game for you. That I did a deal with Joe. I don't know whether Joe's used much of it yet. The Redmi Note 9S with that 725G chipset in it. That thing gamed. I could play PUBG on that on high and no problem whatsoever. No issue at all.
The 7 series Snapdragons are like the gold mine of the mid-tier market. If you can get a phone, about a $300 phone that's got a 7 series CPU in it, you will basically notice no difference between an 8 series CPU and your phone.
That Redmi Note 9S, hopefully Joe's used it. That thing was quick. It was really good. So quick that I'm actually considering buying another one, or I'll buy that one back off Joe whenever he's bored of it. But but I really am. I mean, for the money, it's such a good phone to have as a backup. Nothing in the United States right now beats that phone at all. Sub $400, nothing beats that phone. at all.
Oh, so I got some really, really cool information today. I cannot disclose my source, but I am getting, just for a brief window, a red BlackBerry Key 2.
Ooh, not to keep.
Not to keep. I only get to keep it for like 2 weeks so I can play with it and make my video and then send it back. And it's an arrangement I've worked out with somebody who owns this phone personally. So I was like, look, I will take care of this. Just let me use it for like a week or two so I can make a video. I've wanted to get my hands on one of these things. I got to briefly see one at CES when I was there in January, and this person has agreed to send it to me to let me use it for like a week or two and then send it back.
Aren't they like $600-700 still?
They're expensive. So the Key 2 was like $650 whenever it came out, maybe $699, but $650.
And it still is when you look for it used. It's like $500-600. It's like
they are. They're very expensive. Yes. So the red one came out, and it was an additional $100 more. So I want to say it was $749 or $799 whenever it came out, just for the red.
Because it was red.
Well, it was also 128 gigs of storage instead of 64.
Oh well.
So yeah, I mean, they bumped it up a little bit, but either way, it's red through and through, and I'm really excited about it. And I will be making a video, starting this next week. But yeah. I mean, of course, everybody knows I love BlackBerry. This is like the ultimate mecca of, the modern BlackBerry. So pretty stoked about that. And Grant is here. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, lots of things going on right now. I was telling him earlier, I got my hands on those 2 new Soundcore earbuds, so I'll be playing around with those. I haven't even opened them up. They showed up yesterday.
My review's dropping Friday at the Dots 2.
Nice. Yeah, it's the Dots 2 and the Spirit X2s, right?
Yeah. I've already done the X2s though back in February. I'm just gonna they asked me to do a revisited like I did with the Air 2. So they sent me another pair out.
Are you getting the are you getting any of the TCL earbuds?
Yes, both of them. They're coming this next week, I believe.
Oh, nice.
Or late this week.
So it's funny. I'm one of the few people that actually has a review on those things on the internet because I went to the press event when I was at
CES, didn't they?
Yeah. So whenever I went there, since I was in on a press pass thing, they gave me a set then for free. And I went ahead and I did my review. They were supposed to, I believe, be coming out a lot sooner than now. So now they're finally coming out. So that's cool. Maybe a lot of people start watching it. They're very good earbuds. I can't say that they're great. They're not bad by any stretch of the imagination. I think they run about $80 if I can remember correctly, maybe like $76.99 or something like that. Come in some different colors. It's a very, very good attempt at kind of getting into the earbud market. It's just like the TCL 10 Pro. Yes, TCL makes really good TVs, and they're starting to try and use some of that fortune or fortuitousness across the board into other products. So the earbuds, the phones, all these other things. So very good entry attempt into the market. They're good.
I can't wait to get them. I've got the 2 true wireless. I've not got the other things coming. There's 4 sets altogether. I've only got the 2 of the true wireless. I didn't need the other stuff. Yeah,
they've got a set of they had like 2 sets of headphones and 2 sets of earbuds or something like that. They're called like the Social, SOCL.
Yeah, I did the old ones. They have the Elite, or is it Elite as it's meant to be, in the Social. And I did both the first gens last year, but now the second gen, I don't know. The first gen were really unreliable, so I've stayed away from the second gen. Sounded good, but very unreliable. So
these I think you'll be impressed with them. They're not by any stretch. They're not trying to be anything. They're not. They're not trying to be $150 earbuds. They're not. They're worth what you pay for them, and I thought that they were good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. If the TCL 10 Pro and the 10L are anything to go off, I'm expecting these to be pleasantly good, really.
So, we got Lions Man in here. Welcome. Apparently he's hungover. I think
he got married.
Yeah, he had a special event yesterday that he got to participate in. So sorry, ladies, he's taken now. the only person around that can rival me for children collections. I think he's got.
I got 4.
I think he's got 6 as well. I mean, I've got 6.
I got
So
4. I had twins when I was 19. Imagine that.
yeah,
Go back to when you're 19 and think about having twins. It was like,
I was
whoa.
going to say something about kids having kids, but I mean, here you are in your 40s now, and you're still one big kid. So I can only imagine
with an 18-month-old. He'll be 60 when he graduates. It's like, come on.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, we got to start calling this like the middle-aged dads podcast.
Yeah, it's definitely Dad Bod podcast. Yeah,
Dad Bods, the best dad podcast show on Wednesday night. So Drew's got 4. Lions man, he's got 6, 4 boys and 2 girls. I have 5 boys and 1 girl.
I have 3 boys and 1 girl. Twin boys who are 24 this year, a daughter of 21, and a son of 18 months.
Yeah, my youngest is 10. The oldest one is 14, and he'll be 15 next year. And it's just he started high school. Like he's doing summer courses right now because he got into this advanced. It's called early college high school program. So the way it works with his high school, he's actually starting now. He's taking Spanish 1. Like he had to take a break from Fortnite earlier so he could do his Spanish 1 class online. When he graduates from high school at 18, not only will he have his high school diploma, but he will also have an associate's degree.
Damn, that's awesome.
It's crazy. So we had to sign him up for it, but he had to actually go. He had to go interview. He had to apply. He had to have like a certain level of GPA and all this other stuff. So we're really proud of him, but it's just crazy to me. I can remember, I mean, this is not really tech related, but I can remember back to when I didn't have children, and now I have a 14-and-a-half-year-old who is, gone from, hey, Dad, will you watch me play Nintendo to, will you buy me this
iPhone?
Will you buy me this Coach wallet? Can I have your gold charging cable for your iPhone? And oh, by the way, Dad, if you get a 2005 Maserati, it's only like $35,000. That'd be a good first car. But I remember growing up and sitting there. I used to remember the old used car guides. You would pick them up at like the grocery store and stuff. I'm like, Dad, a 1986 Lynx is only like $600. That's about how much they're worth. Maybe for my first car.
Don't work that way in England. You want a car, you got to buy it yourself, and that's it. None of this Papa buys your first car.
My whole thought process behind that stuff, I don't mind like 5,000 and under. Like not to get too much into my family stuff, but I basically raised my 7 younger siblings from about the age of 14, 15 and on. So like 4 of my siblings, I got them their first car. So I helped them with their first car and all sorts of stuff. So I don't mind, with my children, it's like, look, I'll pay for junior college. I'm not paying for university because you need to, while you're in school, work on getting good grades, try and get scholarships or get into something like band, orchestra, sports, whatever, something to try and, help cover the cost of university. And, I don't mind like a $5,000 car or whatever. That's fine, especially because 2 of them are so close in age. I don't mind if they share one, but no, not getting any 2005 Maseratis.
Yeah, no. Look at Lionsman. Let me tell you the truth, Lionsman. It's probably the best thing that has ever happened to me. Starting all over again with the boy. Really, I was before when she was pregnant. She told me she was pregnant. My whole world collapsed. I was like, oh no. But it's turned out to be probably the best thing ever for me. And Joe, middle-aged, is now between 40 and 60, my friend. They moved the bracket, so you're still middle-aged. You're a little bit more middle-aged than me, but we are middle-aged together, bro.
Yeah, I'm still a little behind on that. My hairline's not, but my body is.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Speaking of body, I went out and I got a bicycle. I've gone in and out of Academy a lot the last month or so trying to find one because everybody's buying these things up. You can't find basketball goals. You can't find bicycles. You can't find skates. You can't find all this outdoor stuff. And I finally got a bicycle, and my wife and I went and rode. I rode like 7.5 miles on that bike. I've been paying for it for 2 days.
Yeah.
Terrible life.
That saddle. Oh.
Yeah. Terrible life. Oh man, I'm tired.
I have a Surface Laptop 3. There you go. I don't know whether to keep it or not.
Oh yeah, so you got that new Surface laptop.
And I have not used it really. This is the longest I've used it for. It's sat in its box ever since I've got it.
You know what's funny though is as much as we rag on the MacBook, my 2019 MacBook Pro with a 720p camera, yours Surface Pro actually has a Surface laptop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has a 1080p webcam in it, but yeah, the problem is StreamYard only lets you stream at 720p, so that's why it still looks.
I'm using my Logitech still, so this isn't because it looked terrible when I put the webcam on in the actual built-in one. It looked like the MacBook.
Well, I have this. It's called Papalook, Papallook. Either way, they're kind of like Logitech competitors, but this one's 1080p. I picked it up, I want to say, for maybe $60 whenever I got it, and it served me fairly well. The only problem is it has autofocus issues. It doesn't like whenever you change things.
It pulses every now and then, right?
Yeah, it's just because of the lighting in here. Like if the lighting were better, it would work better.
I like this. I'd never have paid for it though. This is a $170 webcam by Logitech.
Well, you got that as part of that Best Buy reviewer program.
It didn't cost me nothing. So, but $170 because it does 1080/60. Ooh. It's quite cool on the features. Like before I come on, it's still a bit dim in this room, so I had it prioritize exposure over frame rate. So it lit everything up. So now I don't have the blaring light in my face or anything. So it does work pretty good for that. But I don't think it's worth $170 by any means. So
yeah, maybe if you were doing more high caliber streaming stuff, maybe it would. I don't know.
Yeah. But maybe the microphone's decent in it and that. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe, yeah, for this stuff, no, not so much. And Joe down here says he still got his Surface Pro 4 and it works great. I have a Surface.
That is my favorite computer ever, the Surface Pro 4.
I have a Surface Pro 5. It's the 2017 model, and I've got the i7 in it, 8 gigabytes of RAM. It works out great. I've got the little Surface, keyboard that folds over and all that good stuff. I totally love the thing. I have not seen a need to get another one. I just can't use that for editing. They're very underpowered. They just don't have.
Same with this. I mean, all right, this has got 10th gen Iris, 10th gen i5 with the Iris Plus graphics in it, and it will work, but I don't know how great it will work without GPU.
The problem is, for people that don't know, when it comes to these really thin laptops and the tablet platforms and stuff, it's an i7. But what they don't tell you is the power rating is so much lower than
it's a low power. It's not an i7 that you would get in a desktop. So
yeah,
totally different.
Like a desktop, you might get a 35, 45, 50 watt CPU. This one is a 15 watt CPU that can power burst up.
Lucky. Yeah, 12 watt. I think the new one goes down to. So.
Baby. So yeah, they tell you that it's a i7, but it's very misleading because it does not have the power behind it that it only
power. It's like the i5 in this. It's I think this is the 6-core version, but again, it's really hampered by low wattage. So, but it does, believe it or not, play Fortnite on medium settings at 50, 60 frames a second. I'm like, what? How does that even work? But it does it. It's pretty nice. It's matte black, but because it's matte black, it's a fingerprint magnet. But it looks really nice. It's great to type on. It's what it is for me. It's a Windows MacBook Air.
You know what I thought was probably their best product they came out with the last year was the Surface Pro X.
I almost bought that instead of this. But I was really worried that I wouldn't be able to run like this. I wouldn't be able to stream on it because I wasn't sure whether it would work or not on that with it being an ARM processor.
Yeah, I mean, it's really nice. They did a lot of cool things with it, but the problem with Windows is they have too much money to not make themselves more competitive. Yes. Like they're just too big to fail. Yes. It's like they give you just enough, but they don't go outside their comfort zone to really make anything that's just a really amazing product.
Mm-hmm. The 15-inch Surface Book 2 with the 1060 graphics card in it was outstanding. That for me was great. Now they've just released the Surface Book 3, and it looks just like the 3-year-old Surface Book 2. That was a missed opportunity that for them.
The Surface Books are a really good product line, and they work out great. They're great for IT professionals. They're great if you want to have something that's portable. You can still do some gaming with. You can do some video editing with it, but at the same time, you still have that smaller form factor.
It throttle like terrible. I had one with the i7-8750. It wasn't the full high. It was an 8550 i7, and that thing throttled majorly while you were gaming. So it wasn't that good for gaming, but it did do well with editing.
And like Drew says here, yes, you can even see that with their folding phones. So the Surface Duo. Here's the thing, though. In the year 2020, with all the stuff that's out there now, they don't have to have the cutting edge technology with the latest. They don't have to put an 865 in there. They could put an 845 or an 855. They don't have to have 16 gigabytes of RAM. They can put 8. It's going to work out good. They're so good. Like the phone parts and all that stuff are so good nowadays that you don't have to have all of that. What they're trying to do is make it look nice, work well, and find a way to get people to open their wallets for it. Not nobody, but like 5 people are going to spend $2,000 for one, but like 100 people.
I don't think it'll be that much. I really don't.
I'm just saying, if they put everything in there, including the kitchen sink, it would be as much as a fold. But the way they're doing it, I think it's going to be around $12.99. I think so is where it's going to be at.
I think it'll be cheaper than that.
Maybe it's like a base model.
Yeah, I can see it because it's basically a V60, but without a case that you can remove. It's a hinge. It's like a ZTE, and they're just having to develop their apps so they work across 2 screens. So
it's good that it doesn't have that huge gap in the bezels in the middle, because I like the V60. I like the dual screen concept. It gives you a lot, and you don't have to pay nearly as much as you do with the true foldable phone like the Fold does. But with that huge gap in the V60, it kind of disrupts the flow when you're using the phone, and it's so big. I like that this is all one thing, so you don't have like that notch on the backside where the hinge is at and all that stuff. It just opens up seamlessly, and there's a very small gap in the center.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that it's going to be Android is going to help them a lot. I just don't know whether it's really going to be a Windows device with Android. I don't know.
I don't think it has to be. What's making it the Windows device is the fact that they're labeling it as the Surface, and effectively, I'm sure there's going to be some skinning and some apps and other things that go into it.
Without a doubt, it's going to look like Windows 10, without a doubt. But is it going to be able to interact with other products the same? Unless the only thing I can think of is it's going to be a companion to the Surface Pro X, which is also running on ARM.
Yeah. And that's kind of interesting to me, what they're doing with the ARM processors now. It's like making a big comeback. It's like, Apple's going the ARM route. Windows. There's a lot of stuff that's going the ARM processor route now, and trying to get these more cost-effective machines out there.
Yeah. I mean, an ARM is the way to go right now. I mean, it is when Apple are going to next year look like it's going all ARM in their MacBooks.
Oh, yeah. Apple.
That's a major thing. And I think once Apple do that, I think Microsoft will follow. I think that's why the Surface Pro X is out. I think that's more of a beta product, just testing, seeing how it goes. And it gives them a good 12 months, 2 years to figure it out, let's say. Because they do have a really good looking product with the Surface Pro X. It looks better than the iPad Pro for me. I think it looks stunning. So they got the aesthetics down. It's just whether they can. Problem with the Pro on ARM, it can only run 32-bit applications. It can't run anything 64-bit.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
It is, because everything Windows is designed around 64-bit technology now.
Yeah. If it was 10 years ago, it wouldn't be an issue. But
no, and that's why it's funny to me that people are going this ARM route now. It's just weird that it's kind of like a backwards approach to looking at things. It's like, we've got them so good now, you don't need all these gigantic multi 8-core, 12-core, whatever processors to push the stuff out. So it's interesting to me, and the budget oriented person inside of me is very happy about it. But the technological enthusiast side of me is like, this is not for me.
Yeah. I don't know. Are they bringing two of those phones out? Is there a bigger one and a smaller one, or is it just one?
I don't know. I think it's just one, and a couple things over here. So Drew wants to know: do you think it's going to be available on the carriers? I think it's going to be available at a carrier.
Right.
I think,
or AT&T.
I think it's going to be AT&T. My guess is going to be AT&T exclusive. They are not going all in with this. Windows never goes all in with everything, but with this phone, I'm a little concerned because I was really excited. I thought they were going to push it up. When they announced it last year, they were like, yeah, coming winter of next year. I'm like, why are you doing this? Why are you announcing this product, showing off this beta product, and then saying, oh, now wait over a year for this phone to come out?
Mm-hmm.
That might have been okay had all of these other things not happened in between then and now. You know, if it gets pushed back even farther, I'm concerned. Because, yes, part of me is like, yeah, it doesn't need to have the best specs, but the longer it sits on those specs and waits to come out, the value.
The value is just tumbling because people aren't going to buy it. When you think, and I hate to harp on about this thing again, but this is $809 right now with two screens.
Yeah.
And that's got flagship, newest everything in it. So, and no one's buying that. So,
So we'll see what happens. You know, there was a rumor a little while back it was going to come out in like April and May, and then that quickly went the way of the dodo, and they're like, nope, not happening.
Yeah.
and of course, I mean, it happened to other people too. We expected the Pixel 4a to come out by now, and now who knows when the Pixel 4a is going to come out?
We need to either just cancel that or just call it the Pixel 5. Just and do it that way and have an XL next to it.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do at this point. But I did see something. It looks like I think it was Android Stud had posted a thing saying that Pixel had sold through like 7 million of their Pixel 4 series devices.
Yeah, supposedly more than they expected. But then the guy who's in charge of the Pixel line said he's been really disappointed with the sales this year.
Well, I think that they were expecting it to be a really big year for their phones, and I think that that's the expectation. Not that it didn't sell better than last go around, and I would hope so, because I think the Pixel 3 was another debacle.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
The Pixel 4, as much controversy as it has around it with some people are either very hot or very cold with the Pixel devices. And I don't blame them because Pixel sets themselves up for it.
Yes,
it's a very polarizing phone, and I do very much like the Pixel 4, and I very much like the Pixel 4 XL. What I don't like is the battery life. If they had better battery life, I would be using one right now. But also, the 64 gigabytes, no external storage, so you can't put an SD card in.
They need to get rid of that 64 gig. And I don't understand why that phone had such a small battery in it, because it wasn't exactly a slim phone or a small phone by any stretch of the imagination. You'd have thought they really skimped on it, and then putting that high refresh rate killed them at first. Hey, Gary. Go, Gary. I hope it went good, buddy.
And there were so many people that I heard a lot of people's feelings. Like I heard a lot of people's.
Oh, it was trash when it first came out. It was trash. The XL and the smaller one was even worse. A friend of mine had the smaller one. He couldn't get 3 hours out of it. It was like, and then the big one, you were lucky to get 5 out of it. It was.
Oh yeah.
Not good.
I think I'm the friend you were talking about, because I was posting my battery screenshot every single.
Yeah, it probably was you. Yeah, it probably was you.
I was averaging about 2 hours and 45 minutes of screen on time, and it was just like so bad. But I love the phone.
Yeah,
I had to charge it by 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's it. It was just the HTC Thunderbolt all over again. And it's funny that it's HTC that's designing these things. And they've got a new phone coming out. Have you seen the state of that?
So we were talking about that while you were absent earlier, because we were talking about HTC, and they've got the new Desire phone that's supposed to be coming out.
You know what HTC are going to do though? It's going to have is it a 7 series processor or is it a 6?
I'm fairly certain. I heard it was supposed to be a MediaTek. I thought it was going to be a MediaTek processor.
Their new Destiny or whatever it's called. Either way, it's going to be. You watch. It'll be $1,000 and just fly. You watch. It's HTC. They have no idea what they're doing anymore.
Oh no, they're dumb as a box of rocks. Here we go. Here's this thing that popped up. Look, 9 to 5 Google. So it says they're supposed to have released the Desire 20 series on June 16th. So just coming up, beginning of next week.
Yeah.
I wonder. I'm gonna try and reach out to them and see if they'll give me a phone.
I'm sure they will.
Here, rumored specs. Oh, they're saying Qualcomm Snapdragon 665.
I mean, see what I mean? HTC, what are you doing?
6 gigabytes of RAM, full HD. So basically, it looks like they took a TCL 10L and are putting an HTC Desire name on it. Which is fine. A 665 and a TCL 10L for $250 all day long. I would buy this phone.
Absolutely. But it's HTC, and they'll think that there's something still that they're not, and it's going to come out that there will be $699. You watch.
Oh yeah, and Grant, it says the Desire has always been a mid-range phone, and it is, but it shouldn't be a mid-range 2 years ago phone. If they put a low-level 7 series processor in it, I would be 100% behind it.
And again, it's not like these companies can't afford to do it, because I'll go back to the $227 Redmi Note 9S with 6 gig of RAM, 128 gig of storage, Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and the back, quad camera, and like I say, $227.
And here, yeah, they couldn't throw a 7 series in there. Yeah, that's the thing. Why couldn't they at least put a 7 series processor? Nobody's going to take that phone seriously coming from HTC, because what people are looking from HTC is not a mid-range phone. They're looking for a comeback phone.
They want a new M series. That's what they want. That's what I want out of a HTC. I'm waiting for a new M to come out and blow my mind like the M7 did.
Yeah, people are looking for an HTC comeback phone. Nobody is looking for an HTC mid-tier phone. And I don't even know.
HTC making it, or have they just licensed their name out?
I don't know. I would have to look at that. But my concern would be, where are people going to see this? Is it going to be like a Go phone you're going to get at Best Buy? Is it going to be a Cricket phone? I mean, it's probably going to end up on the store shelves at Metro and Cricket, maybe. I mean, who knows? But we'll just have to see. I mean, I'll reach out to them. I've never been able to get a hold of their PR people before, but I don't think it's a step in the right direction for HTC.
I just don't understand it. They may as well have done what Motorola have done and just come out swinging.
Now, here's what I will say. I really want to get my hands on one of those Edge Plus phones. I was that close.
European one, though.
I was that close to buying one because they've got them on sale for $7.99 on the Motorola website.
Verizon only.
But they're Verizon exclusive. If I could have got that phone unlocked, like if there were an unlocked model available, or if I could put my T-Mobile SIM in the Verizon one, that phone would be here in my hand today. Like, I really want to try out that phone, but
me too. Maybe if you can pick one up used that's been unlocked, after 40 days. I think it's 40 days they've got to be on Verizon, and they automatically unlock. I consider it, but they've also got that much bloat on them from Verizon. There's supposedly like 30 apps on there that are just all Verizon related. Oh, come on.
And we had this talk before about carrier bloatware. Carrier bloatware, it used to serve a little bit of a purpose.
Back in the BlackBerry days, things like when smartphones were coming out of being dumb phones kind of things. I would agree. Yeah, they had like AT&T Contacts, AT&T Uverse app, the AT&T Find My Phone. There were certain apps that would come out that would be preloaded that were semi-helpful, especially if you were not a tech enthusiast like we were, who would just go get all the stuff anyway. And now it's just like, why is all this stuff on my phone, and why can't I get rid of it? Yeah, I just don't agree. I've never anywhere else in the world that doesn't happen. In England, you don't get carrier bloat on any of your phones. You're buying what you would buy straight from Samsung or straight from Motorola. No bloat comes on your phone whatsoever in England. America is the only country I know where the carriers are allowed to stuff your phones full of all kinds of crap. And it's wrong, because you're paying for the phone and then you're paying for the service. You should be given the choice. Like, I switched this over to Sprint yesterday, and the first thing it did, just because I had it downloaded, on its own, didn't even ask me, just downloaded a ton of Sprint bloatware on it. Even though this phone isn't available on Sprint, it still did it.
Just because it activated on the network.
Yep.
You get all that crap.
All on there.
Yeah. So America, the land of the free, the home of the pre-installed bloatware.
And the phones are so expensive over here, and phone plans as well. I mean, my dad in England, he pays, it works out about $14 a month, and he gets 12 gig of data. And it's like
Pricing
so expensive over here.
Pricing for cell phones and service has always been so expensive here. It used to be. I remember way back in the day, back when it used to have BlackBerry's internet service, the BIS service, and all that stuff. I used to pay like $120 a month just so I could have a BlackBerry that I could use the internet on, like back in like 2006, 2007, and it was just ridiculous.
The plans are worse here. I think Canada's worse. The UK is great for phones because the plans are so cheap. They really are. And they have real 5G as well, not fake 5G. I mean, it's not wideband, but it's still a lot faster than T-Mobile's 5G.
Well, another thing you have to take into consideration, though, is the size of the area.
Oh, absolutely. It's the size of New Orleans.
Yeah, you look at
New Orleans.
You look at London, or you look at just England in general.
Mm-hmm.
If the U.S. and England were the same size, it would be on par.
Oh, without doubt.
To stretch all the way across America with 5G towers is just going to take forever.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the same with home internet over in England. It's so much cheaper as well. I mean, my dad gets 500 or 600 meg now for about $25, $30 a month.
God, that's so cheap.
Yeah, it's insane. And it's real fiber as well. It's not, this AT&T BS that they try and feed you with that's before fiber.
What we have over here is fiber over coax. So what it does is it's like you get coax to like the hub, and then you get fiber from like the hub to your house. So you're still limited by the coax cable. Mm-hmm. So Xfinity here where I'm at has gigabit speed now, finally. But AT&T, I can only get a 40 meg plan here.
I can only get a 25 meg plan through AT&T here. I can get a 1 gig plan with Spectrum. But these 1 gig plans, I don't know what Xfinity is like, but here, the 1 gig plans aren't really 1 gig plans. You get 1 gig and 30 meg up.
Yeah, that's how it is. And it's like, how in the world am I getting 1,000 megabits download, but only 30 megabits upload? It's just mind-boggling to me. I don't understand it. I'm paying out the rear for it. And those are advertised speeds. That's not actual speeds.
I will give Spectrum their due here. I have their 400 meg system here, and I get about 450, 460 out of it. Always.
They tested mine whenever I had that upgraded like 2 years ago. And I want to say back then, I think the highest was like 350. And yeah, it was getting 350. And I know I'm getting at least 650 to the modem. Mm-hmm. But it's funny because I have an Xfinity approved modem, but I bought my own because I don't like to pay for the whole rental thing. Mm-hmm. But they said that I need to get a better modem. So my modem is rated for 1.4 gigabits per second. But
is it DOCSIS 3.1?
It is. It's DOCSIS 3.1, but Xfinity says it's only rated at like 964 megabits per second. Yeah.
If it's DOCSIS 3.1, that isn't true because DOCSIS 3.1 is made for gigabit speeds.
Yeah.
That's why it's 3.1 and not 3 anymore.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the modem box advertising is 1.4 gigabits per second, but Xfinity says it's certified for 964 megabits per second on their service. Makes no sense. And they're like, you need to get a better modem. They're like, you need to get a better modem so you can get a gigabit speed. I'm like, why would I get another modem for an extra 40 megabits per second?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's them throttling. Surely that's them throttling that. It's got to be.
I don't know.
Has to be. There's no way.
Hey, Ian showed up. Welcome to the show, Senor Ian.
We'll have to get Ian on this show one day.
Sure. He can come on right now if he wants.
Yeah. You well, you always look like crap, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, Ian, no. Ian's ugly as sin.
Yeah, you can come on and then you make me and him look like Mona Lisa.
Oh, let's do that. I'll send Ian a link right now, just because.
He's like, no, I can't do it.
I sent him a link. We'll see if he shows up. I'll harass him in person for a minute.
I'll have to get Drew on as well one night. He's a new creator.
Oh yeah,
Get a few people on here. Get Joe back on with his 3 years so he can advertise it.
Well, I'm gonna have to advertise that one on Twitter in advance because if he does show up, then he's gonna. Three things that he likes about our live stream and 3 things he doesn't, and we'll be here until next Wednesday.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, goodness gracious. Anyway, so Ian, I sent you a link in your Twitter. If you see it and you want to pop on for a minute, we've run our hour now. So
Joe, I would say I would agree with you with Apple, but Samsung do not control the carriers, because if they did, you wouldn't get the 357 apps on every phone from every carrier. You just wouldn't. Not even the Pixel has all them apps that come on them phones. Even the Pixel, somehow Google managed to get it so that doesn't get bloated up. Nah.
There's Joe's analysis of our show. 3 things he doesn't like. Dan.
He's just upset because I have a rather stupendous English accent, and he sounds like, look at this boy in his vest.
He's like, hold on, let me put on my sleeveless shirt so I can hang out with the boys.
Let me take my string vest off and put this one that isn't stringy so I don't look quite as redneck tonight.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get a water bottle and spray it on his chest before he got on the camera.
No, this is my work from home setup. So yeah, it gets hot in this office, so I decided to just wear this today.
It's your stunning good looks that make it hot. That's what
it's not his videos.
Yeah. Yeah. I put clothes on for the videos. Don't worry.
I got shorts on. Don't worry about it. Whenever I do my videos, I'm either sat in my boxer shorts or just regular shorts. I kid you.
Yeah, they only see up here.
Yeah, that's all. I literally sit there in my underwear sometimes doing my videos.
You should start putting an asterisk in the title for your video and be like, was not wearing pants in this video.
That's right.
No pants were hard in this video.
I'm not going commando yet, but there's always time.
You're gonna have your own brand of underwear then.
That's it.
I just wear my life uniform whenever whether I'm sleeping or eating or doing my live show or my video, I'm always wearing one of these black Under Armour.
You have like one set of clothes, maybe 2. You have like a white V-neck T-shirt or that thing you're wearing now.
Yeah, I mean, I got a
That's
drawer.
why I said you look like someone homeless.
I got my drawer over here. I've got like 10 white V-neck T-shirts and I got like 10 black Under Armour.
Who wears V-necks? What are you wearing V-neck T-shirts for? You little hipster wannabe.
Why not? Well, they used to be V-necks, but now they're just regular shirts because I'm so fat.
No, you don't get away with it. You must have to buy the biggest V-necks because your V is like, you could wear a medallion and it'd still show. You could be like an 80s pimp with that V-neck going on. It's like, what are you wearing?
It's not a plunging deep V-neck. It's just
really? If your boobs are a bit fatter, you'd be showing cleavage. All right, that's just the way it was.
Yeah, well, no matter what it is, at least it's not a sleeveless tank top shirt like our friend wearing.
You know,
I do video reviews in sleeveless tees, so
that looked really bad.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
no, I didn't.
It did.
It could have been worse. I could have been wearing a plunging white V-neck where I needed a Victoria's bra.
You know, at least maybe it was like a year or 2 ago. I remember when I first started making videos, and I didn't even think about it because I'm like, nobody watches my videos anyway. And I'm like, I just wore white T-shirts all the time. And I'm like, you know what? One day my wife's like, you should probably put a different shirt on. I'm like, yeah, I probably should. And then I put on black shirts. So now I'm good to go.
Have you ever noticed he just talks absolute crap and just goes on and on to the point where we all tune out, and then when he finishes, it's like an awkward silence because nobody cares.
It's an effect that I have on people.
Superpower.
Yeah, that's how my wife ended up marrying me. She's like, I can't get him to shut up. I might as well just continue to go out with him until he asks me to marry me. So
Gary, get Gary on. See, can you get 4 people on this?
Well, I'm sure you'd like 4 men on your show.
I have no problem with that. What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
Nothing. That you're a friendly guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that you're a friendly guy who likes the company of
others. Ian, my friend, let me tell you. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Ian is a rising star.
Who is?
Am I?
Ian.
Am I now?
Ian, he is. Got some bad news from Soundcore tonight, though. They've stopped supporting small creators by the sound.
Christy actually emailed me.
Oh, she did? Good.
She did, yeah. So I don't know. It's maybe it's just a trial that they're gonna do, but
Did
she
you send
said,
me Soundcore items or Anchor?
she said she's gonna send me Liberty Air 2.
Oh, good. Good.
Try out.
Yeah, you'll like those.
Hey, Gary, if you're on or you got your Twitter available, I sent you a link so you can hop on with us. So what is this you're telling me that they're not supporting small creators anymore?
Yeah, they basically said, what did he say in his first email?
Well, we're past our hour, Matt, so we're going to talk about what. So
sorry, Matt. Normally the show starts at 7:30 and it ends at 8:30, and
whenever we go over, it just becomes a free for all.
Yeah,
so you can talk about whatever you want in the text. Don't matter. If you want to talk tech, you talk tech, and we will answer you.
Yeah,
but it's just an or what after an hour.
Yeah, we just haven't ended the stream because we're just kind of shooting the breeze right now. But yeah, if you've got something tech related that you would like for us to answer, then certainly we'll do that while we're here. And also, thanks for subscribing. Glad to have you aboard. But yeah, usually our videos are they're very tech oriented for the first hour, sometimes even longer. This is our 20th show today already. 20,
really?
Wow. Yeah, 20 videos already. So next week. We didn't do a show this last week, but this upcoming week we'll probably have a lot more focused conversation. Yeah, we had a lot of the first 20 minutes was real touch and go with Dan's internet and computer problems. So here we go.
Blame. Hey. That's a good looking guy. See? He counteracts Ian's ugliness.
Where'd he go?
Oh, where'd he go?
I think he just showed up to give us the eyebrow of disapproval and then left.
I know. Did you see that? It was like, bro, how dare you invite me on here?
That's the vibe that I got.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, here we go. So Matt says he's about to give his wife his V40 and get a V60. I'll tell you what, that V40 is still a really good phone. And the V60, V60 crew here. Yeah, if Joe Husky were on here right now, he's got my V60, but I'm getting his Z Flip that he traded me. That'll be here tomorrow.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, it's a little.
This man here, I was so looking forward to the Z Flip when it was coming out. All right, and this man right here, you laugh. No, it's pointless. I just don't understand the point in that. It's just pointless. Because you're going to have one of them phones, you just get the fold because it's big and that's pointless. Tried to ruin my hopes and dreams, you did. And now look what you're doing, you little Judas. You're getting one yourself.
Because it's been long enough that it's in the affordable range now. I would never pay $1,400 for a Z Flip, but with the deal that I worked out with Joe, it was worthwhile on both ends. So
how much are they running now?
Still $1,399,
but I'm just getting a used one. Yeah, it's
how much are they on the used market?
Used market, I've seen it for about
knickers. Let me tell you,
I've seen it for about 900 on Swappa. What really pisses me off is the S20 Ultra. You can get those in the $800 range on Swappa now.
Everything this year has tanked. Really tanked. Did
they get the Ultra? Did they fix any of the problems with the camera with that?
They have attempted to. Supposedly, there's another. Have you updated there's a new update for it that's just come out again for the camera, this last week, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Which I stopped caring about the camera about 3 months ago.
It supposedly stops a lot of the focus hunting, but still, you're getting the blurs with movement. So
I saw so many people selling theirs on Twitter. It was a very short period of time. Nobody kept it.
Yeah, I got rid of two of them in no time whatsoever. I had them 1 week after the other. I got rid of it and I thought, I'll try another one in case mine was just a dud. And the second one came and it was exactly the same.
The only reason, and I talked to Dan about this a lot of times, because I use my phone to record my videos. And there is no phone out on the market right now in the United States that has a selfie camera that works as well as the S20 Ultra, which is the only reason I held on to it, because I use it. It's pointed at me like this, and that's how I record, and it's just so good.
Yeah, there is that is one thing. If they took that selfie camera off the front and stuck it on the back, they'd have been all right.
Is it different for the S20, the 20 Plus, and the Ultra?
Yeah, on the Ultra, it's a 40 megapixel selfie camera.
Yeah,
and really good.
Oh, it's really good. The front-facing selfie camera is better than the camera on the rear.
That's what I'm saying. If you could put that on the back, if they'd have put that on the back, they'd have been okay. But
it's really good. I had the Note 10, like the Note 10 Plus, and I ended up trading that in. And I tested it out because I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it. And the selfie camera on the Ultra was such a significant upgrade. This is worth it because the Samsung, that's all I use for my recording my videos.
I'm just gonna go and murder my wife.
Well, it's on video now, so
that's frowned upon. That's frowned upon.
It's okay, it'll be all right.
It's Ohio. It's like the Wild West.
Mm-hmm. It's the only way to deal with them.
So the Note 10, those both seem to be pretty all around good phones, though.
The Note 10 is probably the most complete Note ever made. It's a very good phone.
A lot of my friends actually switched to that. Even switched from iPhone to that.
Yeah, a lot of people really like that. I like the Note 10 series devices. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I had a really hard time giving it up, but then again, it was like, look, this is what I record on my videos with. I don't even use the Ultra. It just sits in there, and then I use it when I record videos. That's all I do.
S10 Plus is now better than the Ultra as well.
Wow.
Because they've just released this last week or two, I got an update, and all the camera functions from the Ultra are now on the S10 line.
Yep. And that was one of the few things that set the 20 series apart.
Good Matt.
Yeah. Dan an alibi. Yeah. If he says, I got to run to Kroger and get some chicken, and then he cuts out for a few minutes, we know that.
I've not had any of that. I've not had any Kroger chicken tenders yet, even though I've been back at work. That might have to be on for tomorrow.
That must be why you're so cranky this evening.
It's why I've been cranky for the last 3 months.
Oh, goodness.
So what do you guys think about the Note 20? Do you think that's going to be just as good?
Not interested.
No?
I have here's a typical
you watch.
Here's a typical conversation that Dan and I have. I don't want this phone at all. I have no interest in this phone at all. I am not going to buy one. Yes, you are. Yes, I am, but I don't want it.
Yes. And that's just the way it goes. I don't want one, but I'll have one, but I don't want it.
So
no.
Will I own the Note 20? There's like a 9.
You'll have it the same day as me. And you'll have the same points as I do. I nearly swore then, but I had to try so hard, like I had Tourette's for a second. I was like, but you'll have the same negative points as I do, and we'll both sit here, and you'll keep yours for 6 months and then cry because it's lost all its value, and I'd have sold mine or sent it back because I'm the wise one because I'm older.
You go through so many phones, I'm telling you.
A lot less phones now than I ever used to.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very surprising.
Huh?
That's very surprising. Because
I lost 10 days with a phone at one time. Leanne, how often did I used to change my phone?
More than you change your underwear.
Oh, yes.
Say that louder.
I legit. I didn't have a phone for much more than a week, did I?
More than you change your underwear.
You said it once, they heard you. It wasn't funny the first time, so it definitely ain't funny the second time.
He's planning on murdering you.
True.
She stood there in the doorway with a knife in her hand trying to look hench.
It's funny because it's true.
She's like a 5'4" red-headed dwarf.
With a knife.
With a knife.
Maybe she thinks that the door is like
there you go. She looks like Chucky in the doorway.
That's Ryland's job, not mine.
The other one with red.
She thinks the door is like the mines of Moria.
You look at armless Carl. Carl.
Oh, Carl's here.
Ian's way older than I thought. Yeah, I know. It's disappointing. I know. Sorry.
Oh, my goodness.
How old are you, Ian? You're only young, aren't you?
I'm 33.
Are you really?
There's no way you're 33.
I thought you were about 24, 25. Holy.
I wish.
I thought you were like the age of my son. Wow.
No, I'll be 34 in October.
Wow.
You're going to Chuck E. Cheese for your party?
Yeah.
If I get a coupon, sure.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Oh, that is crazy.
Did you see didn't they change the mouse recently? They made him to like a skinny hipster.
I've never been to Chuck E. Cheese in my
I
life.
haven't seen that. What I did see though was that because absolutely nobody wants to buy Chuck E. Cheese pizza. Like it's an incidental expense when you're there. Okay, I'll buy pizza for the kids, but never would I go out and buy pizza from Chuck E.'s. So I think what they were doing was they were advertising on like the food delivery services and calling it a different name, so people would order pizza from there.
Really?
Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah, it was a thing. They called it something else. What's it called? See if I can look in the news. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, here we go. Chuck E. Cheese is selling premium takeout pizza under the name Pasquale's.
Oh God.
So they were selling Chuck E. Cheese pizza under the name of Pasquale's, so people would order it because of course nobody could go into Chuck E. Cheese to get it. So they were selling it under this Pasquale's name so that people would order their pizza. It was a thing on the news a little while.
Marketing, right? If it sold it, so what?
Oh, man.
Good marketing.
It was just hilarious to me.
So wait, they did delivery, or what do they do? How do they do
it? Was like the food delivery services, like Grubhub and whatever the other ones are, Uber Eats.
You would never know it was Chuck E. Cheese.
No, just
I guess that's kinda smart.
People enjoyed it as well while they were eating it, just because they didn't have Chuck E. Cheese in here.
You were just ordering Pasquale's pizza. Yeah, I bet there was somebody that probably called their mom, like, "Mom, have you tried this Pasquale's pizza? It's so good."
Yeah, and they hate Chuck E. Cheese pizza. That'll be it.
Imagine they went to Chuck E. Cheese with their kids and ate it, and they were like, "Wow, this really tastes familiar."
Oh God, this is terrible. I would never eat this. And then go home and order Pasquale's. This is so good.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's so strange.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. though, if like Chucky actually showed up at your door with the pizza.
The new hipster one.
Funny, though? You know what'd be really funny? If they called if Chuck E. Cheese were to create a food delivery service and they call it rat droppings.
You thought about that way too long, and this was your moment to get that joke in there.
It just popped into my head.
Dad jokes for the win. Here we go again.
It just popped into my head.
Don't matter, Gary. Don't worry about it. Yeah, absolutely. You can come on this show anytime you want, Gary.
Yeah.
Anytime. How did yours go tonight? I hope yours went very well, by the way. I'm sorry we couldn't be there. We would have been there otherwise.
Yeah. And, I was talking to Dan about that. And, we've talked about this a lot of times before because it seems like so many people want to do their show on Wednesday night. If like the most important one is, Scott Peachy has his show at the same time, and we'd like to be able to participate in his. He'd like to be able to be on ours. But if we moved it forward or backward, or we'd be, tramping in on somebody else's time slot. It's just we're such a ingrained and connected tech community that there's so many people that do these live streams. So it's just throw the dart at a dartboard and hope for the best.
It is what it is. And Wednesday's a good day because it's hump day. It's like what it is. People are just bored on a Wednesday. There's nothing to do on a Wednesday. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing on TV. It's Wednesday. It's like
it's nice in the middle of the week, and every time. Yeah, it seems like we have this conversation every time we get ready to do the show on Wednesday. I'm like, man, it doesn't feel like it's been a week.
Yeah,
it just goes by like that.
Like it's been 2 weeks since we last did it. Yeah, it really doesn't.
It's still gone by like that, and something I look forward to though. It's a lot of fun. We all love to talk tech stuff, so it's great to be able to sit down for an hour or so and just talk about tech stuff.
Yeah.
Do I get the new Redmi X10 Pro?
Why don't you ask this guy?
Oh my God! Here he is. Have you brought your anal massager with you like you had last night? Have you seen his little? He's got a thing that makes his butt soothe. Now here he is. Look, watch. Look at that.
Oh.
Hit by Armadillo Tech. It's definitely not going to break when you stick it in. Now let me tell you.
So are you making those, Carl, or you just happen to have one for your own personal use?
Having one, to relax on butts.
I've seen those all over the place. Like,
time he's finished with that, it'll be called arseless, Carl. Let me tell you.
It's because I recently started running and everything, try to stay in shape. This helped me a lot because it's really strong.
Yeah. I mean, after you work out, there's nothing like plunging something like that in your butthole. I mean, absolutely, just go for it.
Come on.
So, I remember, back in the old days, before they closed down the malls 3 months ago, those just started showing up. Like when you would walk around the mall, people would harass you and like, here, come look at this, buy one. It's $300, whatever. I'm like,
yeah. And we all know it's just a vibrator. It really is. It's just a way to sell overstock vibrators.
I don't know. Hey, well, if you got
a vibrator, man, see?
So here, let me ask this question. So this would be interesting just to get from the perspective of a manufacturer. Are you going to try and go to CES in January if they still have it?
No, fuck that. No.
Thanks for dropping F-bombs on my family-friendly show.
I'm sorry, guys. Sorry,
I've not even done
to
that.
say that I'm probably not going to the CES 2021, but I still hope everybody enjoying the show.
I'm going to go. If it's ready to go, I'm going to go. No problem.
I would love to go, honestly. I mean, I just feel like a lot of people are probably going to pull out. If people don't want to go,
I think that it was the right thing to do, and this may be a polarizing position that I have. I think it was the right thing to say that they're still going to have it, but it's kind of let's do a wait and see approach. Because if they came out and said no, we're not going to have it, then it would be too hard to turn around in a couple of months and try and get it ready to go. Yeah, and a lot of people that are YouTubers that are saying no, forget this, I'm not going, whatever, blah blah blah. They can do that, but they don't understand big picture. CES is not designed for YouTubers. CES is for manufacturers and industry people to make these connections so they can sell products, establish contracts, business connections, and get their products out there for people to see. So I don't blame anybody that wants to go, but I don't think it's necessarily wrong to say that they should still have it.
That's people's choice. The Las Vegas is back to normal. You can wear an N95 mask, still smoke.
I saw that video. Oh.
And if I do go, if by chance I do go, I'll probably be wearing an N95 mask. I might put on some latex gloves. I'm not going to be shaking hands or eating any food while I'm there. I mean, my exposure there would probably be much more limited and focused in certain areas as opposed to just lingering and walking around everywhere.
But it would be a good opportunity for smaller YouTubers.
It is. And, I met a lot of the products I've been able to get this year have been because I went out there and I got FaceTime with these people. So
didn't you have 3,000 or 4,000 subs, 5,000 subs when you went out there?
I had now. First week of January, I had 4,200 subscribers.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But just from January to March alone, before like the big BlackBerry thing and all stuff took off, I had still picked up about 2,000 subscribers. In between January and March, and a lot of stuff was trending in the positive direction. But I had met so many people there that. I met like 7 or 8 different earbud manufacturers, 1 or 2 different phone manufacturers. Like if I hadn't gone out there, I wouldn't have got the LG phone. I wouldn't have got that new mobile phone. I wouldn't have got maybe the TCL phone. I mean, there's a lot of different things. And I don't want to say, if you're a small creator, go out there, you're going to have great success. But what gives you the ability to do is get FaceTime with these people that normally you're sending an email into a vacuum and you don't even know if they've ever even read it or not. So it is good, from a YouTuber or a creator perspective to be able to get out there. But at the same time, what I'm going to look at, of course, is what's best for my personal safety and look at the things. So like if we're in the middle of this, second wave that they're talking about.
If it spikes up again, then obviously no. But if it's like it is now, I would go now. Yeah. Because you can avoid it, let's say. At the end of the day, everyone's going to get it. It's just you want to get it when it's not spiked. That way they can control it.
No, it looks like it's already trending back up now.
Oh yeah, well, everybody's back out.
Scotty, with all this that's going on right now, and people, 1 week it was stay 6 feet away from me. Now it's like, hey, let's get in a huddle and shout. Which I don't want to get into all that, but it's just totally, it's going to spread like wildfire right now. So
yeah. So and of course, if you wear like an N95 mask as opposed to just one of those cheap masks, you're going to have more protection that way. There's a lot of things, and I don't want to get into all that now. But really, I was just curious about your perspective as a manufacturer, as a case maker, if you would still consider going, because ultimately, if the manufacturers are not going to go, then there will be no CES anyway. So
Cal didn't go last year, though, did you? You went to Vegas, but you didn't go to CES, right? You hung out with Max.
Yeah, Max, my brother. I supposed to hang out with Adam, but I got a personal issue. You know, I'm a library man, so I gotta go. Anyway, I think I'm sorry. I was talking about the massage gun. So I think there's some big brand they're gonna go because the owner's not going. Only people who work for them go. It's okay to risk your employee's life. To them, not to me. I'm not going.
I could see, and here's the way CES works. So there's big exhibit halls, and then there's like the smaller show floor, like you would have it like a normal convention locally. Like you go to the big one, and it's like Samsung, Panasonic, TCL, like the big, huge displays. They're all spread out. And then you go to some of the smaller venues at some of the other hotels, and it's like you're packed in like it's a flea market. There's just so many people there. It's like table after table after table. It's like, here, look, you could walk down this row and have 15 different companies with one table right after the other, all selling different types of the same keyboards from Shenzhen in China. I don't know that it would necessarily be worthwhile for a lot of the other smaller vendors, but at the end of the day, it's still so important for them to get out and try and make connections too, because otherwise they're not going to get to see people. So I think there's going to be some risk taking, and of course, people are going to have to look at it and decide what's best for them, their longevity, and their business. And
I'm pretty sure CES are going to lower the requirements again for 21. I'm sure they will, because of people being afraid of going and things like that.
Well, here's another thing.
I think it depends on the second wave.
Yeah.
If the second wave really hits us, they're definitely gonna stop.
Mm-hmm.
No, they won't do it. Yeah, if it's really going to go that way, it'll go all digital. It'll be all online, without a doubt. But
I think that's important, though, because obviously you have to take into consideration public safety and your own personal safety. And you have, I think, a responsibility as a brand to not hold yourself out to be an attractor for people to come put themselves in that position.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
One more thing. The government need to lift the ban of flight ban, international flight ban need to be lifted. No, most of the brands, the CES, half of the brand on the CES is from China. Think about the booth. Half of the booth empty. They cannot handle that booth.
If they don't lift the international travel ban, there's gonna be like 8 vendors and a Taco Bell in there.
Yeah, it makes you wonder who will actually be there. I mean,
they better do that.
I think it was important because CES, it's the biggest electronics show in the world, and it's so important for the industry. But I think that they had to say that they couldn't cancel it just yet, because I don't think they have anything in place that can match the scale of the connections that they make. It's really geared around getting a product there and getting face-to-face time with people. So they are, though, from last year, they've got so much more floor space that they're going to finish building by then. So I'd imagine they're going to have things more spread out. They'll probably have more appointments. They'll have hand washing and hand sanitizer stations. They'll probably
got it up on their website now. I was reading it at CES for the website for 2021, because registrations are going to open in the fall, and it goes through all that they're going to be using social distancing. Everything's going to be cleaned. Like any product that they hand you, they have got to then, once it's come back from you, it's got to be sanitized. Things like that. So it's going to be a very different CES.
Oh, for sure.
You guys have seen how they do in Vegas already, how they have sectioned off like all the tables with plastic partitions and
like
hand washing stations. And
if you go to a blackjack table now, they only allow 3 seats. There's only 3 seats at a blackjack table instead of 6 or 7. If you go to a craps table, they're down to like 3 or 4 spots instead of 50, because whoever can crowd around the table. So, and I think that's good. It's going to be responsible, because even if people do, end up getting sick, it's still going to be the healthiest environment that it's ever been for people to interact with each other.
Yeah, I agree.
So
we'll see what happens on this second wave because we know it's going to come. It's going to come a lot earlier than they thought, though, because they thought it was going to come in the fall. It's not. It's going to be here July. This
Honestly,
second wave, it'll be July at the latest.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's 3 instead of 2.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if there be 3. Yeah.
I'm just hoping they get a vaccine out.
And that
sometime.
better don't happen, because as long as, I don't know if the society back to normal, it kind of back to normal, but still, the case hit the record in Texas. Adam and I, we are in Texas. There are more than 80,000 cases in Texas.
Yeah.
Well, what they're looking at, right now is not so much the infection rate as they are the hospitalization rate is what everybody's looking at. That's what they're monitoring. So
that's what's made it so bad because everybody got it at once and they couldn't handle the rush. Whereas if they can, through social distancing and things like that, that's what they say. Everyone, we're going to get it. Every one of us in here will end up with this thing at some time over the next 2 years, probably.
They better give us more stimulus checks about that, man.
Huh?
They better give us more stimulus checks.
Well, they're supposedly going to, aren't they? There's supposedly another one coming, supposedly.
I'm not going to have any. I'm glad.
Now they're saying that they're thinking of $2,000 a month till January.
Well, I don't know who said 1,200 would last 10 weeks for any family. I thought that was insane.
That's like a month's rent for a lot of people,
Exactly. It is just a month. I mean, and it's been how many months since this started?
Yeah. I finished work March 16th, I think it was, or March 12th, and I've only been back 2 weeks. So
Carl's
where'd
gone.
Carl go?
Anyway, honestly though, we should probably go ahead and wrap things up. It's been like an hour and 45 minutes, and my wife wants to come back in here and watch TV. And I told her, I said, "No, honey, our show's normally in an hour, maybe an hour and a half, but normally in an hour." Now she's like, "No, there's no way you're gonna be done in an hour." I'm like, "Oh, Carl came back."
Hi, Carl.
Sorry, wrong button.
If it has speed instead of massage.
So what I was saying, Carl, is we gotta wrap things up here. We're gonna go and call tonight, I think.
Yeah.
Old man Dan's got to go to bed as well, because I'm the most senior one here. Respect your elders, boys.
You're not a very good role model for an elder.
Get out of my yard. What?
I'm going to visit Houston.
Oh yeah.
Each time I'm coming, I need to.
When
I need to apply travel visa for my daughter and stuff.
Oh, you got to come to the consulate here?
Maybe.
Oh, okay. Well, let me know whenever you're coming to Houston.
Yeah, we can keep social distance, wear mask and gloves, and
we can social distance so well. You can go to Burger King on one side of Houston, and I'll sit on mine. And we'll just FaceTime.
Right, I'm going. Bye, guys. Love you all. See ya. That vest is disgusting. If you ever wear that again, I will find you and I will kill you. All right. Bye.
I will give you a good massage.
I bet you will.
All right. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging around with us. It was a late night tonight, but y'all have a good one, and we'll see y'all again next week.